This is the AlgoLaser Pixi, a tiny laser engraver that you can use without even bringing a computer into the workshop. I'm going to find out what it can actually do, why I'm suddenly seeing woodworkers buying them, and show you one limitation you definitely need to know about before buying one. Woodworkers are notorious for buying new tools and machines, giving woodworking its well-deserved reputation as one of the most expensive hobbies in the world, second only to building Lego. I'm saying that from experience. But there's a new trend that has surprised even me. One of the few dedicated woodworking stores in my area recently started selling this little laser engraver, and shortly after, I started seeing woodworkers buying them and posting about them online. And these are people I never thought would have any interest in a laser engraver. So, why this one? When AlgoLaser approached me and asked if I wanted to take a closer look at the Pixi, I decided to find out. Let's see what this is all about. The Pixi comes with 3, 5 or 10 watts of diode laser power, and this is a 10 watt version. The workbed has measurement markings for easy positioning, with an engraving area of 10 by 10 centimeters. Flip down the visor and the machine is fully enclosed, and with an extraction fan at the back and the option to connect an air purifier, you get smoke and fume control that you don't see often in this price point. Up front there's a color touchscreen. And this is probably one of the most interesting features for someone who's new to lasers, because you don't actually need a computer. You can operate the Pixi directly from the touchscreen, connect it to Wi-Fi and use the phone app, or of course connect it to a computer and control it through GRBL software like LightBurn. I'm going to try all three. I was also surprised to find a connection for a rotary unit at the back. That's a nice addition and particularly interesting for woodturners who might want to engrave round pieces. Focusing is manual. You use this little gouge and adjust the set axis with a knob, and when you're finished, the gouge has its own storage spot at the back. From experience, I can tell you that's a very good idea. Despite being tiny, the Pixi is actually quite flexible when it comes to larger workpieces. You can lift the entire upper section away from the base, giving you considerably more height for engraving larger objects. But this is the feature that really caught my attention. You can remove the workbed, flip it over and use the heatsink cutting surface, or remove it completely. And in theory, that means you can place this tiny laser directly onto something much larger than the machine itself, even sheet material. That could be incredibly useful in a workshop. At least, that's what I thought. More on that later. For now, let's fire it up. The touchscreen feels responsive and surprisingly high quality, and setup is about as easy as it gets. Connect it to Wi-Fi and you're pretty much ready to go. There are several built-in applications for drawing, writing and working with images, so let's try a few. First up, drawing. This is not gonna be my thing. My drawing skills, and honestly my handwriting, are absolutely terrible. They do include this little stylus, which helps, but not enough. Still, you simply place the drawing on the work area, choose your settings and press start. They've even simplified the speed settings into understandable presets rather than just giving you numbers. Very easy. Let's see how it turned out. And that's actually pretty cool. The handwriting is terrible, obviously, but somehow engraving it into wood makes it look a little better. My first instinct on power and speed was a little too aggressive though, so I'll back that off for the next one. Another application, and one that's much more interesting to me, the text generator. There are several fonts to choose from, including one called handwriting, which fits me perfectly. I'll reduce the power a little this time, and away we go. This looks really good. Deep, clean engraving, and for quickly labeling something in the workshop, I could see this being really practical. Next, I downloaded the AlgoLaser app from the App Store and connected it to the machine. The app is also very simple to use, but it still gives you plenty of settings and adjustments. There are also some additional applications, including a puzzle generator and a graphics library. But I want to try one of my own designs. I simply find one of my previous PNG designs in the library, place it, size it, adjust the settings, and that's pretty much it. This is fill engraving, so it does take a little longer. The machine supports speeds up to 6000 mm per minute, and I'm maxing that out here. You can watch the progress through the top of the machine, and the engraving is really good. I selected the finest detail setting, and it shows. I can't see any obvious lines or unevenness in the engraving. Hopefully that comes across on camera. So far, I'm actually liking the practicality here. Very quick to set up, use and stow away because of the size, and easy to use without a PC, software and so forth. But let's get into some more serious laser work and see if the mobility of this machine can really be put to the test. I'm going to remove the workbed and try using the Pixi directly on sheet material. I've chosen this 6mm MDF for this test. The idea is to use the laser for cutting lots of pieces by simply moving the entire machine across the MDF sheet. I've cut 6mm MDF with 10W diode laser before, so I know it's possible. But there is one important difference here. The Pixi has a fan pushing air down into the engraving area, but it doesn't have a dedicated air assist system, so I'm curious to see how it performs. But before I've even started cutting, I find a problem. This is how low the laser head will go. I'm still about 1 or 2 millimeters above the surface. For engraving, that might not be disastrous, but for cutting 6mm MDF, I ideally want the focal point down inside the material, so I'm already several millimeters away from where I want to be. And that's a problem. I'm not giving up yet though. Let's see what happens. I'm not completely sure what the best way to set this up is. And no, this is definitely not the way to do it. I end up putting an aluminium sheet on my workbench, raising the MDF on some strips of wood and placing the Pixi on top. That's a much more comfortable setup. And this is also a good opportunity to test the third way of controlling the machine, a computer, and LightBurn in my case. It connects without any problems. LightBurn recognizes the machine and automatically sets the parameters, so setup is very straightforward. I'm going to use this collection of designs to make some coasters. Because of the size of the work area, I have to make them one at a time and move the laser between each one. I'm starting with settings I've used successfully on other 10W machines before. 2 passes at 100% power and 400mm per minute. I use the frame function for the final positioning, and away we go. The Pixi responds perfectly well through LightBurn and starts without any issues. It's difficult to see exactly what's happening from the front, but the fact that I don't see any sign of the laser beam on the aluminium doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. And my suspicion is correct, it didn't cut through. There's also already quite a bit of soot, and that's where the lack of proper air assist starts becoming a problem. At this stage, I can still sand it off, but I want to find out what it actually takes to cut all the way through, and I suspect the soot problem is only going to get worse. After some testing, I finally get through, but it takes 6 passes at 450mm per minute. Let's try the complete design again, although at this point I have a feeling this is going to be a disaster. And yeah, look at that. This isn't usable. The combination of poor focus and no proper air assist creates far too much heat and soot. And that's a shame, because the small size and overall design of the enclosure could have made this an incredibly practical way of working across larger sheets. There may be a way to modify the set axis or add some kind of external air assist setup, but out of the box, the machine has a real limitation here. To be fair to the Pixi though, I'm also going to do a cutting test in the configuration it was actually designed for. This time I'll raise the workpiece to get the focus exactly where it should be, and I'll use 3mm basewood instead. I'm going to cut a batch of my keychain designs. I can fit 4 of them into the work area, and this works a lot better. There's still some soot around the edges, but it's not too bad, and it can easily be cleaned up afterwards. So I think the takeaway is pretty clear. The Pixi is primarily an engraving machine. It can do some light cutting in the configuration it was designed for, but without a proper air assist system, I wouldn't buy it primarily for cutting wood. The engraving, on the other hand, looks excellent. But I'm not quite giving up on my sheet material idea and those coaster designs just yet. Let's use a material I really like, and one I know a low-powered laser can cut with very little trouble, even when the focus isn't absolutely perfect. Cutting felt on the laser requires very little power, and even the 3W Pixi should be capable of this. I'm using a felt that's suitable for laser cutting, and because it's partly synthetic, the laser leaves a very clean, sealed edge with extremely precise cuts. As always, make sure you know exactly what materials you're putting under the laser, and use appropriate extraction and protection. And this works much better. Now I can actually use the small size and removable base of the Pixi the way I imagined, moving it around a larger sheet and making one piece after another. So after spending some time with the Pixi, I think I understand why I'm suddenly seeing woodworkers buying these. It's just very easy to use. You don't need a computer and you don't need to learn LightBurn, and the engraving results are really good. Cutting is a different story. It will cut thinner woods, but without proper air assist I wouldn't buy it for that, and the focus limitation makes the removable bottom a bit of a missed opportunity for cutting larger sheets in my opinion. But maybe that's also me trying to make this little engraver into something it isn't. Most woodworkers will make their projects with the tools they already have and use something like this to add a logo, name or design afterwards. And for that, I think the Pixi makes a lot of sense. If you're interested, AlgoLaser has given me a 10% discount code for my viewers. You'll find that and the link in the description. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.